Morning.
Hello.
Hi. How you going?
Oh, it's getting really cold here.
Same here. It is too. Oh, I've got my Ugg boots on now, and it's been raining for a week or two, pretty much.
Oh,
We hit
okay.
7 degrees here. How cold do you get over there?
Um, Hang on, I'll switch my video off so I can have a look at my phone. It is currently, where is my weather app? 16 degrees.
Oh yeah. For you, that probably will feel real cold, eh? For what you're used to, probably.
Oh, I hate the colds.
But does it ever get down under 5 or 10?
I think the lowest I've seen in Brisbane has been 5 or 6, which becomes ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty cold for you guys.
Yeah. Mostly it's around at night, say 9 to 11.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Because we're already at been 5 to 10 degrees already this week. It's like a cold snap, that autumn cold snap, and we're suddenly going, oh God, we need the warm blankets and the slippers and the jumpers, and yeah. But yeah, it might be a cold one, but it's just lots of rain. Lots of rain. Well, that's all right. We're really excited for today. And to hopefully we get some people coming, Raquel and Flory and Ludmila. Um, not
Hi,
sure
everyone.
hi guys. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. I'll just put another reminder in school for everyone, even though it was in there, but I'll just make sure everyone's seen it and see who we get in. I think you may have all seen the kind of idea for this call. When I do a quick intro for Monica, and then we'll take it away, and then I guess Monica, you can run through, and we'll just go run intro everyone and see if you guys have any questions or thoughts or things you'd like to maybe look at or help us focus this a little bit. So, Monika Mileva, if anyone doesn't know, runs AI Business Builders, and she's based in Brisbane, so down our corner of the world. And she's one of our key partners and ambassadors. And it's a pleasure to have her help provide her expertise and thought leadership. She's awesome at making really cool AI content and very technical automations and workflows that just I'm not going to get my head around. And she packages them all up beautifully. It helps everyone just it makes it look easy. So it'd be brilliant to have her share her expertise and help us. So welcome, Monica. And thank you. And I don't know if you'd like to do a quick intro and we'll go around the room or just kick off in whatever format you'd like to do. And
Yeah, I'm not very big on me content. But basically I'm a tech geek basically. I'm not a coder though. I don't code, but I have a left brain, and so I run an AI business that actually works with businesses to implement AI infrastructures, mainly automations and agents. And at the same time, I run my school community where I help people learn and monetize AI. So basically, make money with AI. And I really see how the future is shaping into, let's ask ChatGPT this basic question or ask it to write something for us, to building full infrastructures into businesses that either, and I'm really sorry to say this, but replace workforce or help whole departments run the workload better. Um, so before we go through the room, I really thought a lot about the call today. And I thought if I start teaching you and firehosing you with stuff that I think you guys might want, this is probably not the right way, because what I think you might want is probably not the stuff you want. Um, like I know my community and can fire hose them with all kinds of stuff because they're there for exactly that. But today I want this call to be more about brainstorming questions. So if I understand what you guys are working on, what you guys are trying to achieve, I can start I can start fine-tuning trainings because we're going to do one workshop every single month. And that way I'll be able to help you with very, very specific things or show you very, very specific things that are based on your businesses and the things you guys so you want to do.
Well, that's awesome. Perfect. That sounds awesome. Do you want people to drop things in the chat or just we'll go around and hear from everyone what you guys would like to?
I always prefer to hear from people. So unless you don't have a microphone, I would like to hear your voices and
Yeah,
faces if possible.
cool. You guys want to go around and jump in and yeah. Shall I volunteer someone out of
Oh
five?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Go, you want to go, Raquel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
So
used to hands, and I'm looking for hands. Where are the hands?
I just saw the sign up and I'm like, oh, I think that's really cool. I want to learn more, so that's why I'm here. I am just finishing up a coding boot camp. So there is saying either. So now I'm making space to learn more other things. So that's why I'm here.
Excellent. What coding bootcamp did you do?
She codes.
Python?
She codes their full boot camp, and Python is one of the languages, but they go through all the languages,
Okay.
almost a majority of the languages. So they're JavaScript, React, CSS, teach you how to do it through GitHub. We just did there's also a full section on Google Colab, which formed Python, and then Python. I'm finishing up the last part now, which is the Python portion of it.
Yeah. Um, just for everyone's FYI, you don't even need to understand basic code in order to code. Like it's a good idea when you look at your code to know what you're reading,
Right.
but you don't have to because AI will do everything for you as long as you can ask it the right way and give it the right prompts. It will not only write the code, but it will troubleshoot every code if it's not working.
Yes. And it has been very helpful with troubleshooting, but my thing, I like to learn stuff to have the background on it for when I'm communicating with other people. And that's just how I've been in my business world anyway, of just like learning the background language.
Excellent. So what are you planning on doing with automations,
I'm not sure yet.
workflows or
I'll know
agents?
when I'll know
Okay.
when I learn more.
Do you have a current business?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got out of investment banking, so I'm taking this
Oh,
time to
okay.
learn and decide what I want to do next. What's its move into AI? So literally, I have been on hiatus and sabbatical, but I still like to learn a lot of things. But again, I just came here because I'm like, oh, I want to learn that. And since I'm finishing up my coding by tomorrow,
Yeah.
I now have the space to learn more things.
Yeah. Is there anything that is in particular interest to you in AI?
I have been using AI for a lot. I'm really particularly interested about AI ethics. Being a Black woman, which is kind of what I wrote my article about for the June issue. That's something that's really passionate to me, especially when I started using AI almost 4 years ago and seeing like, yeah, that's not a cultural fit for me and others in my community. So that's my biggest passion now. But I have used it to um, do help a friend, build an app, do some other things with their business. Um, a friend and I we've built this kind of intense. Um, sexuality empowerment workshop for women that we've connected to different things. So I've used it for everything from business to fun projects.
Excellent. Excellent.
And
Awesome. Thank
one
you so much.
other fun thing we're
Yeah.
doing is we're building an Oracle deck.
Oh,
And
okay. I actually have somebody in my community that teaches that. Yeah, I always see her ads. She's very good. Like she's an artist. So her stuff is
okay.
like really, really pretty.
Yeah, so I love reading tarot. I pull tarot cards every day for myself, and so that's my spiritual side.
Awesome. Excellent. Okay, who's next? Who's the next brave soul that will share? I'll just pick someone. Okay, Dawn.
I was going to volunteer. I felt the vibe. I knew you were going to call on me. So I'm here as a curious learner. I work at the intersection of AI, cyber, and law, and I have clients, both startups and small law firms, that are interested to know about automation. And so I feel like I need to learn the good, the bad, and the ugly about it in order to advise them, because I always come at it from a perspective of, here's the benefits. Now let's think about where we need to be cautious. And not always scaremongering, but just knowing here's the settings, here's guardrails, here's what's missing. And so that's kind of the perspective that I come from. And so I'm eager to learn from you.
Excellent. So something especially about proprietary data is that people just throw it left and right on the internet.
Hmm.
And this is really about cybersecurity and all that, like what we should be doing, all of us, if we have that proprietary data, especially if it's financial, if it's legal, if it's medical, all that should be in vector databases that only we and our AIs can access.
Right.
However, we go, hey, ChatGPT, can you look at my finances? Here is my document.
Hmm.
So a lot of people expose their data just to the wide internet, and just because ChatGPT or Anthropic they say we don't share your data, that doesn't. I don't even know if it's true. Like they say
Right.
it, but there's so many hackers that do prompt injections their into the like inner prompts that who knows who's taking your stuff. So the other thing is API keys. A lot of people expose their API keys. I watch YouTube videos and people are like, yeah, here's my API key and here's how I put it in here. And I'm like, I can just grab it and spend, $1,000 in 5 minutes with your API key.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
There,
think cybersecurity is super, super important.
yes, yes. I'll leave it at that because otherwise we're going to go way off on a tangent. But you have to make sure everybody's trained in the entity. One person who should be in the room that isn't can inadvertently, on their own chat GPT on the phone that isn't part of, say, chat teams, which has more security, can share client data and you're not aware of it. So there's this oversight issue and like sort of the one person that hasn't been trained that wasn't in the room that should have been. And so that's kind of the perspective that I take.
Yeah, I feel that there needs to be a lot of education on this part, and people like you would be a great corporate trainers.
I'm trying. If you know anyone, send them my way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't,
I'm
but
saying that in jest. Yeah, I'm not, I wasn't
but I
serious,
just
but
think that there's a lot of stuff people need to learn about how to protect their own stuff. So
mhm.
what are you looking at learning? What would be of interest to you when it comes to anything automation, agents?
Well, first seeing what the tools are, what they're capable of, and then I'm wired, risk wired. So I always look at an emerging technology slightly different than others because I have a low risk tolerance. So as you're going through things, I will spot things that get flagged and maybe ask you or noted because that's just the viewpoint that I take. So as you go through whatever you're going to show for automation, I'll see what it does and what it can't do in terms of protection. If it's human based, in terms of the human factor, or if there's glitches in the automation itself, that's, to be determined.
That's really good. That's really good because I don't think that I'm that good with cybersecurity. I try, but it's not always at the forefront. I'm like, oh, this
Sure.
looks really cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just this idea of, pause, take a breath, think about it, do a gut check. And usually, if you do a gut check, it'll tell you something feels weird here. I better double check.
Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Sure.
Okay, I'm just gonna go around like in line. So the next one is Glenn that I can see.
Hello.
Hello.
I didn't raise my hand only because this is so new. This is just a wonderful learning opportunity. I'm at step one of 1 out of 100, if you know what I mean. So I don't even use anything. I don't automate anything in the work that I do. So I'm so curious what this is and how it might work, perhaps in the
Yeah.
future or for clients or anyone else. So the work I'm doing as a creative person in advertising is a lot of one-offs. You know what I mean? It's a project and then you move on to another project or another client. So there's not a lot of mass production of things that would make perhaps automation efficient, if that's even what you're going to be talking about.
What kind of things do you do for clients?
On the creative side, it's campaigns and concepts for brands in a nutshell. So I'm just curious what this is about. Frankly, I don't even know that I know enough to have a point of view.
Well, here's something, and that's for all of us. How we look at automating anything is the first thing we need to start looking at our repetitive tasks. Like, what do you constantly do? Do you keep dragging this from here to there all the time? Do you have to extract whatever information is from emails that you receive all the time? Like, what are these things that you have to do constantly that could be very repetitive, mundane, like monkey brain stuff? And then we're looking at, okay, let's see if there's a solution that will help me do that. Like, for example, if you're building anything about branding, maybe you have a specific prompt that you use to create, say, brand boards or colors or something like this. And all these can start from, hey, this is all the information about the brand, and then the automation can take it through, analyze it, then think about the colors, for example, then go and create this board somewhere in a software, and then say put it in a Trello board, and then send you a message going, hey, the board is ready, go and check it. Or it can be even further fine-tuned with human in the loop. So even before it puts it in the Trello board, it can send you an email going, hey, have a look at this mood board, color board, mood board, whatever it is. Do you like it, or do you want me to create something else? And you're like, oh, I don't like the green colors, change them to turquoise. And it will go back and redo it, and then we'll send you another email going, hey, do you like this one, or do you want me to change it? So you just need to start thinking about the stuff that you're doing. Actually, I have to dig out. I used to give this Google Sheet document to clients who are like, I don't know what I can automate. And this is basically you write the task that you're doing, and then there's just drop downs that are like, is it repetitive? Do you hate doing it? Do you think it can be automated with AI? And then the next sheet kind of calculates it and puts, things that you should be looking at automating. I'll see if I can dig that out somewhere because I haven't used it in a couple of years because I started doing it like one-on-one with clients rather than giving them homework and them not doing it.
I mean, what you just described is kind of what I thought was one example of what you talked about. I mean, it's very practical, and I get it. Working with ChatGPT over the last few years, especially as of late with with 4.0 is sounds like exactly what you're just describing. It might not be Google Docs, but certainly, with custom GPTs, you're asking it to do a lot of the legwork for the next
Correct.
time you use it again and again and again, which I find extremely helpful. Uh,
Correct. But if you're using a custom GPT, it's still backwards and forwards. You have to be at the computer and it's backwards and forwards. What I'm talking about is you put it in once and then the AI does the work in the background.
what AI is doing in the background?
Oh, whatever platform you choose to use. There's like NA10, Make, Zapier, although I hate Zapier,
Yeah,
but
I
all
got it.
these automation platforms that can build various workflows or agents, they do the work in the background and either drop the final result wherever you want it to be dropped, or you have that human in the loop where they just notify you when
Mhm.
something is ready. So instead
No,
of
it
you
makes sense.
spending half an hour, you just spend 5 minutes copying and pasting whatever the client told you about their brand.
It makes sense.
Yeah. When we think about automations, we always need to think about, is it saving us time? Is it saving us money? Is it increasing productivity and efficiency? Or is it making us money? So these are kind of the things we look at. Because if you can save yourself half an hour here, half an hour there, and then suddenly you have 10 hours a week that you can use for money making activities, like meeting new people, talking to people, rather than sitting in front of the computer. Or
Again,
saving
very logical and
money,
makes a ton of sense. Yeah.
yeah, or saving money from employing VAs to do stuff that you don't have time to do or you don't know how to do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, the next one in line is Ludmila.
Hi, that's me.
Are
Well,
you
my name is
Russian, Ludmila?
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
Very
I'm
sensitive now.
Bulgarian by birth.
I'm from Ukraine. It's very sensitive now. Well, about myself, I'm educator. I'm teaching AI classes locally for communities. Also launch my AI cartoons line. And it's about kids and AI as well. But right now, I start taking AI agents classes, and instructor jumping between Makes and Zapier, and he's like, I like this to do in Makes, and I like another to do in Zapier, and I still didn't choose which one I prefer to use. But my goal for the summer to build for myself AI agent, of course. And recently, I was chosen to be on the board for local, for regional South Texas, Rio Grande Valley governance board. So I am into governance now a lot, trying to learn everywhere, not a lot information. So now I'm get into this UN. Europe has more information than US, by the way. So just trying to catch up with a lot of governance in AI as well. So later on, I can like maybe present this information to the whole region, basically. So that's about me.
Awesome. Now, you have to be really careful with Zapier because when you start doing volume, it can run you into the thousands of dollars. Zapier is extremely expensive. Zapier is
Oh,
kind of I had a Zoom jam with some really cool humans in AI the other day, and someone described Zapier as this like really salesy bad marketer that can get anybody to sign up with them, but but it's so expensive that nobody can afford them. So be very,
wow.
very careful with Zapier.
I didn't know that at all. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing.
Because like I
Uh-huh.
think that for $50 a month, you only get 750 zaps that
Mm-hmm.
can be used so quickly, and then they start charging you more and more and more and more. So I left Zapier maybe 18 months ago, never looked back. If you want to look at
Wow.
much better software, NA10. That's the top dog right now. It creates
Wow.
amazing agents. It does like what I was talking to Glenn about, human in the loop. You can use code to create really robust workflows. Definitely. I personally use both Make and NA10. I do like NA10 more, but Make makes sense sometimes to use when it's something that is fairly simple.
Well, I'll take that into account right away. Well, we'll choose my platform and already start because they are
Yeah.
giving homework and I still debating where even to start because he like that for that and another for another. So at least, but I want to choose just one, not jump between two. Okay, thank you
If
so
you
much.
if you want to choose just one, I'd go NA10 all in. All
But
in.
they still teaching, and at least I can see how they doing that with Make as well. So
Make is very easy for people that are very new to automations.
that's for me.
Yeah, but NA10 is a very robust platform that has a lot more functionalities and capabilities.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Very valuable advices. Thank you.
Yeah. So something that I do with some of my clients is like, especially the people that don't want to know what I'm using, don't want to learn anything, that just like, Monica, I just want this to happen. What I would offer is a productized service. So basically, I will build everything in my own platform. I will incur all the costs for the APIs and everything else that is included, and then I'll charge them monthly retainer
Okay.
that will cover my costs, and then it will make me profit on top of that.
Okay, I got you.
And that way, instead of going, oh, this is going to cost you $10,000 to build it into your platform, and then you have to incur all the costs, and you may have to even pay me some maintenance fees because if something breaks, who's going to fix it? I'm like, I'm going to charge you a much lower setup fee, but then I'm going to charge you a larger retainer and I'm going to continue improving your workflows, like, because there's constant updates. There's always something happening and something changing. Yeah, so I'd be your tech person that will go in to continue fine-tuning, continue updating, upgrading, and all that. And at the same time, you don't have to worry about anything. You just get your results, whatever that is.
Okay, I got you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll take that into account while I learn.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. N8N is amazing and they're going full speed.
Okay. How it's spelled?
N8N, Amanda put it in the chat. It's like N, the word, the number 8 and N.io. So
Please.
if you go in the chat here and just click on N8N, you'll
Thank
see
you
it.
so much. Okay.
Yeah, much, much better.
Thank you.
And is there anything in particular that you would like to learn when it comes to automations?
Just start with something simple, maybe scheduling, and then just more into. Not sure yet, but I'm sure. I would like to be advisor. I'm already advising, but without AI agents, just helping companies like real estate companies. I had a couple of people talk to me, help them to use AI tools, but sooner or later they will ask for agents as well. So I would like to be help around with agents, not for myself, but businesses.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that I saw Flory. She cannot talk. Is that correct? I think that's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll pick on Julia next.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Julia.
Hi.
Lovely to see your face too.
Hi. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask as usual. I'm a bit like Glenn. I produce, video producer, documentary maker, and then generative AI images and videos. And now I'm doing coaching. And so I'm just sort of here to find out a bit more about how to automate things. And yeah, just find out more about it.
Awesome. So when you when you're talking about images and videos, do you create the image and then animate this image?
Yeah.
Cool. I actually have two brand new workflows. One is for faceless videos. The other one is for, you know, how a lot of people now, and I have at least 4 people in my community that want to grow like AI influencer profiles, accounts in Instagram. So yeah, this is the latest one that I did. I just haven't recorded the walkthrough, which I'll do after this call. But yeah, these are really, really great ways to get people to pay you money for you to babysit
Yeah. Yeah.
automations.
Yeah. To help marketers and e-learning as well. So
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like if you sell it as a productized service, you'll be like, I'm going to be building your Instagram influencer profile.
okay.
You just don't have to do anything. We're going to train the model. And then it's literally, and especially if it's templatized, so you'll just adjust it to the person, and then it's a babysitting process.
Okay.
Like you pay me money to babysit an automation and sign up every day and go, oh, it's working, fine, and sign off.
Sure. Sounds
It's
good.
very, very cool. So, yeah, I think that you're right where the money is because a lot of people want faceless videos. A lot of people want to start doing the AI influencer thing because they've seen, you know, these, oh, I can't remember her name. One of them has like 1 point something million followers on Instagram, and everybody knows that she's an AI,
Yeah. They were
and they
talking
keep
in
following
the
her.
masterclass last week. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Um, so, anything else that you would like to learn?
Maybe about how to automate for e-learning. So I do a lot of e-learning, and so being able to help clients, I guess, in their automation process. So big companies that are using for L&D, that sort of thing as well, maybe.
What's L&D?
Oh, sorry, learning and development. So the company, bigger companies have the learning and development department, and so they use e-learning to educate their staff.
Okay, so
On,
training for employees.
yeah,
You can absolutely do that.
I think so.
Absolutely, you
Yeah.
can do that. Yeah, with you can even so something that is being talked about a lot lately is building second brains. So literally, you take everything that the company knows and you put it in a vector database, and then like every employee can go and chat with that
Mm,
agent and it will pull stuff from that database that is very, very specific information about the company. It's not going to go on the internet and search something on the internet.
yeah, but
This
it's
is going to
contained.
be, yeah, for big companies and also coaches. You
Mm-hmm.
may want to start looking at coaches because they want to have, their brain, like I call it AI coach. So their clients, members can go online and just chat with them when they're not available.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Who's next? Mari, I lost somebody. It was Marisol. Oh, yeah, Marisol.
Hi. Oh, I'm so
Hello.
excited. I made it. Hi. So I'm an everything AI consultant, artist, everything. So right now I have two projects. I have one where I want to automate basically all the workflow from an e-commerce site. Mostly they just turned into e-commerce. They were just doing like sales with WhatsApp. So it was very, very, very basic. But I know I can automate responses so the owner doesn't have to be answering to like WhatsApp messages and all that stuff. So I'm assuming the best way to do that would be a custom GPT and then like integrate other kind of automations and like I know I can do like automation for inventory upload, and I just want to make his life easy, like where he doesn't even have to look at it anymore and I just take care of everything exactly like you said, like pay me a retainer and I'll be your IT person. So that's one of the things I'm working on, which I have no idea how, but I know I'll figure it out. And then the other thing is I'm creating my own product and it started as a custom GPT, but I wanted to, I don't know if the best way would be to just automate the things that I want, like notifications, reminders, and stuff like that, or if it's better if I actually convert it into an app with either, I don't know, Lovable or one of those. I don't know what would be best. What would
Yeah.
you do?
Well, it really depends what the GPT does, but you guys know that you can actually send and receive information into your GPT. Like
Mhm.
if you open your custom GPTs, you'll see there's a section for functions where you write the code that can connect to a webhook, and that webhook is the starting point of an automation that does something and it can return the answer in. Like one of my colleagues, I remember he did this GPT for a coach that was doing meditation. So what she was doing was she would put in what type of meditation she wants. The GPT will write the words for the meditation, and then the back end, the webhook will grab it and will take it to a music creation software. It will create the music, then it will go to another one that is called JSON to video that will assemble them together as a whole file, and then it will return it. So you just do one prompt and then the result is a full, meditation audio file with the words and the music.
Okay, that's
Stuff
great.
like
So then
this.
so it would just be like a code inside the custom GPT, not necessarily like a whole automation thing with Make or any of the other tools.
Oh, there will be that automation, but
Okay.
what I'm saying is you can use, because a lot of people, when you open any of the automation platforms like N8N or Make and you try to show it to people, they get overwhelmed and scared because it looks like Chinese to them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to scare them away, you can do it with a custom GPT as your front end because people are used to it.
Got it.
But the back end can work completely different because it hooks to the automation. Or the other thing is you can create an automation and then use a Lovable, because you mentioned Lovable, to create the interface, the user interface. And then it becomes like an app. Like this is my favorite way of using Lovable because otherwise you have to code 3 million things to become an app. Because I did an app like this that is a tone of voice. So you just need to feed it, you say video transcript or something that you've written. And in 30 seconds, it spits out a document that is completely analyze your whole linguistic pattern. Then you can use this document to feed into a custom GPT or Claude or anywhere and be like, hey, this is how I talk, write in this style. But this was all coded in the back end. What I like about plugging automations into the front interface is that you have a lot more control. Otherwise, you always have to work with code. But if you plug in your Make automation or N8N automation as a back end, you can just go and, use the nodes or modules to fix things much, much
Mhm.
easier and much simpler.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys work on any projects and you start sharing them in the She's AI community, I can start kind of fine-tuning my trainings. Like this is probably the first thing that we can do in our next workshop. I'm going to show you how to actually turbocharge your custom GPTs to hook them to an automation to do something.
Awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait. It sounds so fun.
Yeah, because these are the easiest things we can start with. And then when you show people, then your custom GPTs become so much more valuable because people cannot see what's happening in the background.
Yeah, because I was looking into actually getting the API from OpenAI, but I think that's too expensive for me right now. Like I need to start small before wanting to do the API thing. So I
You
was just like,
always
I
have to
wanted to.
pay.
Sorry.
You always have to pay for API.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking maybe I just do some automations just to make it real, like make it have a shape. And then once I actually know what everything's going to be, just then go to like full throttle, either making it an app or optimizing the sequence,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. The
By
structure.
the way, by the way, using especially the OpenAI API is costing pennies. Like
Oh, really?
it's not very expensive at all. Like I top up by I think $20 or $25 and it lasts me like months.
And do you do the 3.5 or the 4?
Oh, it depends what I want to do.
Okay.
So when you go into the automation side, you can actually choose your model. Because sometimes you need a thinking model, sometimes you need just a
Yeah,
model that will do something like very, very mundane. And it's like, yeah, sometimes you need an expensive model, sometimes you need a cheap model.
got it.
Yeah.
We are getting a recording of this, right, Amanda?
Yeah, it's being recorded, so we can definitely replay it. It'll be in school, and we can have a follow-up thread on all of this. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, because I'm trying to take notes, but I'm like, I'm gonna have to re-listen.
for sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Flory just said that it's so over her head. Like, Flory, as I said, I'm not a coder. I know how to read my code. Okay, I can do very, very basic coding, like my Spanish, where I can ask where the beach is and order a beer. Kind of that's my coding abilities. So it's not about becoming a proficient programmer. Um, but it's about just playing around and learning from people that know people that like one thing, and this is like one thing that I do really well is I explain things really easy and in very simple terms. I use the word stuff a lot instead of using like super impressive words. But it's all about taking the first step. And yeah, you use simple custom GPTs. And your first step is like if you come to the next workshop, I'll show you guys how to turbocharge those custom GPTs because I think that this will be the easiest way to step into, oh, here's how you can automate something that is not that scary on the front end, at least. And we'll do something very, very simple. Yeah. Thank you, Ludmila. Okay, so do you guys have any other questions or anything like from what I've said so far and about all the businesses we talked about? Dawn.
I do. You mentioned a couple times, and vector is a word from like cyber, like an attack vector. You mentioned a vector database. What is that?
Okay, so vector databases, they store information a little bit different. They like even if you whether you give them say a text file, a PDF file, Excel sheet, whatever that is, it makes it into numerical characters. And that's how it
Okay.
stores information. And these numerical representations are called vectors. So basically, these are
Okay.
a long list of numbers. And and these vectors capture the meaning of the characteristics of that data. So when you
Okay.
then ask a question, so when you send the query to the vector database, the vector database, and that's called RAG, that
Right.
goes and looks for items that are similar to what you're looking for. And it measures
Okay.
how close different vectors are to each other in mathematical space. And that sounds so complex, but in fact, we don't really need to know all that much about it. It's
Okay.
like
Got
you
it.
you load up a database with a whole bunch of stuff, and it gets it and it goes, these things look similar, so I'm gonna bunch them together here. These things look similar, so I'm gonna bunch them in here. And then it becomes the magic happens when you start fine tuning your prompts so the RAG can go and find the exact thing that you're looking for in the vector database, which
I
at the
see.
moment
Okay.
is not an exact science. Like I was watching a video and this guy was showing how bad his agent was. He loaded a document and with the biggest letters in this document was a date, like just a simple date. And he went and asked his agent about this specific date. And the agent came back and said, sorry, I can't find this information.
Oh.
Yeah, so these bits of, so these vectors that are the mathematical representation, they're chunks. So if you load one page of something, that can be 4 or 5 vectors. So it grabs
Mm.
chunks. So then it's like, how many chunks do I need? How do I overlap stuff? So then it becomes just fine tuning of everything. Then how do I write the prompt for my agent so it goes and looks for the right stuff?
Mm.
And this is when
Got
prompt
it.
engineering becomes a very important skill.
Hmm. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, that probably was over the head of everyone, but
I
yeah,
think I
I'm
got it.
sorry. Yeah. So it's like it's like a library of books, and one shelf is your one document. That is like
Mm.
a series of books. That's how I
Hmm.
look at it.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
every book is a chunk of information.
Hmm.
And when you ask the librarian where is the stuff, it will go to the right shelf, which is your document, and it will pick the right book and will give it
Hmm.
to you. That's probably the easiest way to explain it.
Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem. Anyone, how long does it take to become AI Agent Pro? It depends how much time you have and how much you like to tinker with stuff. Like, if I don't know how to do something, I'm like a dog with a bone. Like, I'll sit in front of the computer until I fix it. Because then it doesn't matter what I do throughout the day, that thing is in the back of my head and I can't concentrate. Even if I go and watch Netflix, I'm still thinking about the thing. So it really depends on you. You can be a complete pro in 30 days, or you can be still starting in 3 years. There's no right or wrong way, but it's what you want to do and how you do it. Yeah.
What have you, Monica, a random question before? Like I've got like a list of 8 things I want to automate. What have you seen to be the most valuable to help people save time or be really efficient to automate first, perhaps as maybe as my own use case? There's a lot I could automate, but like what's a good place to start?
Okay. So this is a bit of a like the question, how long is a piece of string?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Should I do social media first or automate emails or automate sending updates to
okay.
people or
So
something like
I,
that?
I get
Like,
this question a lot from
Mhm.
businesses, and I always ask, what would move the needle for you right now? Is it content? Or is it answering emails because you're losing money because you're not answering your emails? Or are you a tradie that, like, if you're a roofer and people are calling you and you're on the roof and you can't answer the phone and then you go to the next roofer, so maybe you need an AI receptionist instead of something else. So what is that thing that will move the needle for you right now?
Content for us,
Lead.
making and shipping content.
Then you look into like creating a complete content infrastructure. And I like talking about infrastructures because people will sell you this one thing that hardly moves the needle. And it's a good way to put your foot in the door if you want to sell something to someone. Because if you go and say, I'm going to create this full infrastructure and it's going to cost you a whole bunch of money, people get scared. But if you're like, let's do a pilot project, let's automate your LinkedIn. and see how you go. If you like it, we can bolt something else next to it. Uh, but yeah, always think what is like, are you not efficient and productive because your time is spent into, you know, as I said, monkey brain tasks, and you cannot take any more clients because you don't have the time. Is it lead generation? Is it sales? Is it visibility? What is the thing? And it's very different for everybody. Like I used to think that everybody should start with content because everybody needs visibility and everybody wants to be on social media and nobody has the time. But it turns out I was very wrong because I've spoken to businesses that hardly have any social media presence, but they're making $50 million and they need other stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And then I guess, yeah, and that's very practical to start with the use case, right? What do we most need? And then find out which tool does that best.
Yeah.
And it does sound simple, right?
Yeah. I think that a lot of people watch a lot of YouTube videos and they see really cool stuff that people are building and they're like, oh, this is what I need. And then it does nothing for them because it wasn't the right thing for their business. Like something that I see a lot is all these automations, especially with NAN that start with Telegram. I haven't met a single business owner that uses Telegram, but they're cool because on YouTube you talk to your phone and it does stuff.
Can I chime in here? Does it make sense to do a sort of a self-analysis first with whatever tool or even manually, just about where you're spending your most time in a day? Take a week and track it and say, oh my God, I'm spending 4 hours a day on content or 3 hours a day on email and finding your pain points. Because otherwise, if you don't know what your pain points are, it's like finger in the air. Like, where do I start?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why. Why don't I have? I'm trying to see if I can dig that out from somewhere.
Like I do a lot of writing, and sometimes I catch myself into like a 2 hour deep dive into something. I'm like, I can't believe I've spent that on a post, and other times I'll write something in 20 minutes, zip, zip. So that's also, I think, your vibes that day, if you're awake or tired, there's a lot of factors. Um, for me, it's a question of trust. How would I trust something to do my content? That's like my gem. I'm a research and writer at heart. So that would be hard for me to surrender, to be honest.
I'm the
Yeah.
conversely, I'm like, how do you get an automation robot? It boggles my mind to automate my emails so I can save 4 hours a day from writing custom emails to
Yes.
everybody who I have to go in Google Drive, get a specific document, tailor it to everyone, write a custom email, really think about what I'm doing. Like how it boggles
Yeah.
my mind to think a robot could automate that all for me. And maybe you can say, yes, absolutely could. But that level of customization, I'm not sure. Like I know it's like standard tasks you do every day. It would be easy to automate that and spit it out, and that would be really helpful. But um, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you two documents, guys. I just found them.
And to your point, Amanda, like, do you use templates for the email responses if you don't want to tailor them? And how do you know what's going to be spot on for that particular case if you're sending something automated, which is slightly off base from what you should be saying? I mean, does that then threaten your relationship with your client? I mean, maybe I overthink it, but
Mm. Yeah, I'm interested in all of that. Yep, task
Okay,
tracker.
guys. So I shared two documents with you. The first one is a daily task tracker, and it has two sheets. The first one, you can see like you just
oh,
it's a drop down menu, and you just select your tasks and just go through it. And the second one is the second sheet on the same document is the AI suitability checklist. And then the second one is a task calculator, and
oh,
that that will allow you to then create to see your return on investment in AI. So it's time taken without AI, time taken with AI, time saved, and it calculates it for you.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So these two documents will give you a lot of insights into your own business or the things that you do every single day. And that will probably help you start looking into, what am I spending a lot of time on? What is the stuff I don't like doing? And can I start looking into automating it? Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, and about the Telegram thing, I do. I know a lot of business owners that use Telegram. And actually the thing I'm creating is connected to Telegram because I was going to do WhatsApp, but I read that it was more complicated, but it's the way I would get the notifications and start the conversation instead of them going to ChatGPT, if that makes sense. So it would be more of a Telegram conversation, and that way you get the ding and the notification of what I want them to do, and then they respond. So that's why I will use. I
Yeah.
see it in the coaching a lot.
Yeah. I think that smaller businesses, they're like a couple of people in the business or one person show, they might, but when you start going to the CEO, they don't use
Mhm.
Telegram.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not interested in that. Um,
Got it.
so yeah, it really depends on the size of the business and what they do. Some businesses are not on Telegram because you've seen what's happening in the States. They have conversations about what's happening in the Middle East, and some random journalist gets, plugged into that conversation. Um, some people, like I get added to random groups on Telegram, and I hate it. Like all kinds of, especially crypto or real estate groups, just randomly get added. So that's why I don't use Telegram, because it drives me nuts and it pisses me off. Um, but yeah. Okay. Any other questions? That has been like a really cool conversation with you guys. It's very interesting to see how you're all using AI and what you're looking to build in the future.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thanks, Monica. That was really cool and a lot to take in. But I'm sure as we do this every time things will cement, we will put the recording in school, drop some of those links and tools, and yeah, come in school and maybe Monica can answer some questions, hopefully, and keen to see what you guys all do and play with. And yeah, that's been really cool. Thanks, Monica.
Yeah.
I'll
Thank
try and
you.
automate at least one thing. That's
Yeah. If you guys want me to answer any questions in the She's AI community, just tag me, because sometimes I don't see stuff. But if you tag me, it will send me a notification.
yeah, good tip. We'll do that. Yeah, no, thanks everyone. That's been awesome. And thanks. And yeah, look forward to seeing you all online and for next time. And yeah, thanks, Monica, for your time. And we'll see you all in school.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank
Guys, see
you.
Bye,
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Guys. Bye.